I refuse to believe that there's any such thing as white supremacy because I'm not inferior towards anyone. But look at the people that are here who just, they care about what's in your heart. They care about how you love this country. They care about your patriotism. They care about how you want this country to get better.
Greetings to all of you who backed the blue. We had another amazing TPUSA event, the Student Action Summit in Tampa, Florida, and I ran into the one and only, the living legend, my brother from another mother, Zeke Arkham is in the house.
I'm in the house.
We connected over 2 years ago.
Over 2 years,
right,
it's been a while.
Social media, how you influence what I'm doing with Support Our Shields, but finally we got a chance to meet in person. When I found out you were coming, I was like, okay, this weekend is going to be special. So for my audience, Zeke, let's get into your background story, especially your calling, peace officer, your career. That's a new chapter is coming up soon.
Yeah,
so tell us about, you reference it on your X page, which is amazing, but give us your background story, your testimony. What led you into becoming a police officer?
Well, born and raised in South Jamaica, Queens, New York. I grew up, there was a lot of poverty around my area. There's a lot of crime. There's a lot of gangs, guns. I knew more about gangs and guns and what they did before I was even in kindergarten. I saw a lot of violence growing up. I saw a lot of things growing up. I'm a third generation law enforcement. My grandfather was a court officer. My uncle was a court officer. So I'm pretty much just going into the family business.
Yeah.
I was pretty directionless in college. I was unmotivated. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had a couple of avenues I was trying to explore. And finally my mom said, why don't you go into law enforcement? That seems something that's right up your alley. I was already bouncing. I was already doing security work. So I said, you know what? Let's try it. Okay. I put in for that and the fire department at the same time. I said, you got to have a backup plan.
Right.
And the police department called me first. And I said, you know what? I'm here. And it was there where I found my motivation.
Yes.
There was a lieutenant who sort of put his arm around me, excuse me, and he just started talking to me. And he said, one thing that he said that always sticks with me, he said, no matter what your views are right now, he goes, if you keep your eyes open and you keep an open mind and you look at things objectively, he goes, you're going to start to lean right. He said, that's just where your views are going to turn.
Yeah.
And that always stuck with me. Because I was in the middle of doing an arrest and I was trying to get my bearings together.
Yes.
And he kind of just pulled me aside, and I don't know why he said it to me, but he did. Lo and behold, it was true.
Right.
I was a huge Obama fan. I was a big Obama supporter, and I always say Obama red-pilled me because Obama started saying stuff, and there was a Cambridge officer incident.
Yep.
And Obama started saying some of the things he said. Yeah. So I said, he's wrong about this.
Yes.
Just knowing what I knew as a cop, I said, he's wrong about this. I said, if he's wrong about this, what else is he wrong about? So the second time around, I voted for him again just because I didn't trust Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
But it wasn't with as much enthusiasm.
Yes.
It was just kind of like, you kind of like, all right, I guess, I'll vote for him. I'm not going to vote for Romney. I'll vote for him. So
but you were already questioning the narrative.
I was already questioning the narrative. I was already looking up a lot more stuff.
Yes.
I was already fact-checking myself.
Yes.
And the more I fact-checked myself, the more it pushed me towards the right.
Yeah.
I already grew up in a, I wouldn't say conservative Christian family, but it was a Christian family.
Right.
And there were a lot
by default tends to lean, if we're being consistent with scripture, but a lot of times we in an ethnic sense, we don't do that.
True. But my mom was a lifelong Democrat.
Yeah.
My father was actually a black Israelite.
Okay. Oh, wow. So, you had him.
So I had everything. He was gainfully unemployed while doing it. He couldn't hold down a job. I don't think my father held down a job for more than 5 years. So he was consistently unemployed.
Yes.
But he was the typical, the white man's holding me down. Well, we need to find the white man who's holding you down specifically and tell him to ease up because he's doing too good of a job. But I grew up in that type of household, so I already had some more conservative views.
Right.
But it wasn't until Obama came into office and I said, you know what? He's pushing me more to the right.
Yes.
He's really pushing me more to the right. And then when Trump started running, I wasn't a Trump guy when Trump started running, but I definitely wasn't voting for Hillary.
Yes.
I did not like Hillary at all.
Okay, so
at all. So I voted for
that.
Trump the first time.
Yes.
And then Trump really pushed me more towards everything. I saw the job he was doing. I said he's doing a great job.
Yes.
I started talking to more conservative-minded people. I started talking to more people who were on the right.
Yes.
I saw a documentary called Runaway Slave. Great documentary. And that cemented it. That hit me.
Yes.
It was just everything I believed they put into the movie.
Yes.
I started looking at Alonzo Rachel.
Yes.
I mess up. I butcher his name every time I say it, but Alonzo Rachel. He started saying a lot of things, and I started really harping into what he was doing. And I said to myself one day, I want to be in his shoes.
Yes.
I want to be able to influence someone one day. Even though I hate the term influencer, I said I want to be able to talk and just influence someone's views. He was also in the documentary on Runaway Slave. I saw it because of him, and it really just pushed me to where I am. You know, so between law enforcement and everything I was seeing and experiencing in law enforcement, I don't know how any cop can work the BLM rallies and riots and all that and still vote Democrat. To me, that's like...
Take the audience into that, Zeke, because you led us where I wanted to follow up. You're going through a journey yourself, but you're already a police officer.
Yeah.
So, and you said you had that sergeant pull you aside and share that with that lieutenant. Then what is happening with you, Michael Brown, when, BLM explodes? What are you going through? You're in New York.
Well, now I'm looking at things through a police officer's lens.
Okay.
So when I'm looking at the testimony, I'm not looking at it as someone who has no idea about what law enforcement does. I'm looking at it with someone who's firmly in the job.
Yes.
So I'm watching it and I'm listening. I'm starting to piece apart things, especially as someone who that's what I did for a living.
Yes.
And I'm starting to say, but this doesn't make sense from what the news is saying, and that doesn't make sense from what the news is saying, and what Obama is saying here doesn't make sense. And mind you, I was the type of guy who, when BLM first started, I actually did somewhat support them because I liked their message or the initial message that Black lives did matter. I believe all lives matter. But I said, but there is some injustice in the world, but then they started mutating. I say they started mutating. So I said, you know what, this I can't support anymore. And then Obama got involved, and I hated what he did with the Dallas police officers. How he basically invited himself to their funeral. I told my wife at the time, I said, if he ever does this, I said, I don't care if a Klansman in full robe and gear and all that attacks me in front of a burning black church. I said, I don't care what happens. I said, don't ever let something like this happen where he shows up, he invites himself, and then starts lecturing everyone there. I hated that, hated it. So, I always say Obama red-pilled me because I started to truly hate what he was doing and the divisiveness that was there, and how he fueled BLM and gave them power, and he fueled Al Sharpton and gave him power. And I started to truly hate what he was doing. And by the end of his second term, I said I don't regret too many things in life. I said I regret voting for him.
That is so powerful, Zeke. So what made you, like you said, you hate the term influencer, but what made you go on social media? Did you ever think you were going to have this following that you have, and that things that you say are retweeted or re-X'd? What was that transition?
Honestly, I started just talking. I saw there was so much inaccurate information as far as what cops do. And what cops do in certain neighborhoods. And especially from my perspective, being a cop and being black. I said, you know what? There's no one really out there with my perspective. Grew up in a rough neighborhood. Gotten in tons of fights as a kid. Gotten tons of fights as an adult. And then just went out there and was active, putting my hands on people as a cop. Had the background I had with a father who was very militant, and a mother who was a Christian, but she also, she had her own issues as well. I said, you know what, there's my story is going to reach someone.
Yes.
I said, so let me just start talking out. And this was actually my third Twitter account. I failed twice. I tell everybody, because people go, oh, you know, how do you have so many followers?
Right.
How do you have the influencer? I don't know.
Gotcha.
This is my third attempt,
Yeah.
you know? So I tell people, I was like, listen, I just started posting. And I said, whoever this reaches, it reaches.
Yes.
Whether I have 1 follower,
Yes.
100, 1,000,
Or
I'm just
today, almost 500,000.
Oh, today almost 500,000, which I'm very humbled by.
Yes.
I've run into a bunch of people here who like, you know, hey Zeke, I follow you on this.
Yes.
I'm truly
I've
humbled
been
by
seeing
that, and I thank people for that. I just started posting, and I said, let me just tell my side of the story.
Yes.
So there was an incident with a massive cop shooting that happened. I forgot where, but I said everyone's getting this wrong.
Yeah.
Everyone is getting, and none of these people are in law enforcement.
Right.
They're all speculating.
Yes.
So I said, you know what? I'm actually in law enforcement.
Right.
Let me tell my story. So I started off as cop with attitude.
Yes.
Because I'll admit, I boosted it right off of NWA. I said, they're NWA, I'm CWA. And then I added.
And the imagery you added with it just spoke.
Yeah. And I said, hey, listen, I grew up. I said, I grew up in the neighborhoods where NWA was played. I grew up in neighborhoods where cops weren't liked.
Correct.
Yeah.
After police.
Exactly. So I said, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to add the notorious
Yes.
CWA,
Yes.
just to piss off anyone who I haven't pissed off yet. You know, they're going to look at me, don't you dare. But
Yes.
I said, let me go ahead and do it. But I said, yeah, there's no one out there telling my side of the story. And then I started just fact checking people. Hey, no, listen, this is what happened.
Correct.
No, in a police investigation, this is what they're doing.
Yes.
I'm actually looking at the steps as they're doing it.
Yes.
I can tell you what they're going to do next,
Correct.
because every police investigation, it sounds weird, but it's different, but it's the same.
Right.
So
There's a process.
Exactly. So people started sort of just tuning in.
Yeah.
And then I got my big break, so to speak, when Colin Kaepernick, he compared the NFL to slavery,
Right.
but at the same time still wanted to get back into the NFL.
Yeah.
So I made a video saying this is what Colin Kaepernick is doing, and this has been his history, and this is what he's going to do in the future.
Yes.
And overnight, I think I gained like 10,000 followers. Like I was waking, you know how you
Yes.
tune into X
Yes.
or Twitter as it was known at
Yes.
the time, and it's like, okay, yeah, you're up another 1,000. Okay,
Right.
now you're up another 1,000, and I had no idea how that happened.
This is when Twitter was completely left brain.
Exactly.
And, you know, this is Jack Dorsey. This is before Elon. So you were getting hate all over the place.
And this was also a time when, I mean, you know, I wasn't used to any of this.
Yeah.
So I had people texting me and going, hey, dude, I just saw your video. Is this you? Oh, hey, bro, is this you? Is it? And I didn't know how to answer. I was like, yeah, it is, but, you know.
So it was literally trial by fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I made a couple more videos, and more people. Like, it's to the point now where like friends are like, yeah, I saw your video again. You know, I'm just like, okay, you know, and it is what it is. And, you know, I have, you know, thankfully a lot of my friends and buddies who I know, who I went through the job with and all that, they support what I'm doing. They support my message. They're like, dude, you're speaking for us.
Correct.
And you're speaking on behalf of us, and everything you're saying is true. I got a bunch of friends who are like, hey, listen, dude, like, keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
And that's the best thing you could ever ask for.
Right.
And then there's people you meet through social media who become friends. You know, I count you as one of them. You know, you got AK Camara over there, a bunch of other people. So you meet people, and you get more. You have more in common with them.
Yes.
And these people that you've never run into in your whole life, but you know them because they just, you know, they become your associates, your friends, you know, your brotherhood. So, you know, it's been a blessing, this whole experience.
Now, speaking of that, Zeke, now bring us to this weekend, because following you for 2 years, and just like you said, seeing the impact that you're having on social media, but then you come to an event. So I've been doing these TPUSA events for 3 years now, and you know the narrative. It's white supremacists, you know, these are just modern day KKK. But then you come and tell us what that's been like for you, you know, just this morning. And like you said, I'm with you, people are coming up, I follow you, you're impacting my life. What has it been like for you to be in person at a Turning Point USA event?
This has been great. This is my first event. I love it. I love the energy here. I love just being around people who are like you. You know, and when I say like you, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, they're people who they have like minds with you. You can talk and they understand where you're coming from.
Correct.
You can say something and they understand your message. And this is great. The last time something was like this was back in, when we went to the White House.
Yes.
And you're just surrounded by a bunch of love and support and brotherhood. And I mean, this lets you know you're on the right path. You're looking at people, I firmly believe right now, biblically, we're looking at good versus evil.
Correct.
And you see what the left is doing as far as, they're making fun of a child with cancer.
Yes.
They're making fun of
the girls who were killed.
I was just about to get to that. They're actively making fun of the girls who were killed in Texas.
Yes.
You're seeing people who they're holding on to this white supremacy, white entitlement, white privilege. And my thing is, and I'm like, I refuse to believe that there's any such thing as white supremacy because I'm not inferior towards anyone. I've been saying on my podcast, I've been saying during interviews, anything I want to do in life, I do, and I set a goal and I achieve it.
Absolutely.
No one is getting in my way. The only person, I've told every black person, black person, white person, anybody, if you believe that there's someone out there oppressing you, you're the person oppressing you.
Yep.
Because you're even if there is some mythical person out there who is directly trying to hold you down, you're allowing them to hold you down. And there are people who I've said that message to and it doesn't hit.
Right.
But then there are people who I've said that message to and it does hit. And so my message is for the people who are listening, who are out there, who are saying, you know what, you're 100% right. I have goals and I want to achieve them. And to me, when people have said to me, either I started voting differently because of you, or I started thinking differently because of you, or you told me I could achieve something and I achieved it, to me that makes everything worth it.
And you TKOing on a digital sense, Brooklyn Dad, like on a daily basis, makes it worth it. For me, I'm like, Zeke should be arrested for digital abuse of this clown because you do it every time he makes a stupid post.
You know what it is? I hate the people who are paid.
Yeah.
You're paid to create dissension.
Yes.
You don't believe any of the stuff you're saying, but you're paid to create dissension.
Yes.
Whether it's him, whether it's Harry Sisson,
yes.
whether it's any of them, you're paid to create dissension. JoJo from Jersey, all of them. So you know what? On days when it's a slow news day, I'll give everybody here a secret. On days when I really don't have much to post about, or it's a slow day, or it's a day where I'm just kind of like, I gotta find my motivation or something, I go and I troll their posts.
Yes.
And I go, hey.
Masterfully.
There we go.
You do.
And you know what? I got nicknames for all of them.
You do.
I got nice little comedic little bits I can do on them. And you know what? And if I can make you laugh and dismantle your whole argument in one tweet, I'll do so. Mission accomplished.
You've done that.
And I love doing that.
Tell the audience what's next for you, because one chapter is close to coming to an end, and then you got big things happening. Share what you can.
Oh man, I mean, just I'm in the process of relocating to Florida right now from New York. I'm leaving the People's Republic of New York, and I'm going down to the free state
of Florida.
The free state, absolutely. So once I'm down there, I have my podcast restarting.
Yes.
My podcast right now is Reasonable Suspicion. I'm partnering up with a good friend of mine, and I'm going to be doing interviews with people.
Awesome.
This way, it's good to have a partner,
yes.
so you guys can bounce off, especially someone you have chemistry with, especially someone you can joke around with them.
Yes.
They can joke around back with you, and we can include our guest in it.
Yes.
So between the podcast, between doing more interviews and just getting my message out there.
We saw you on Fearless recently. This has been in the works for a couple of years since I met your content.
Yes.
And coming from the background that I was coming from, which was not law enforcement, but wanting to speak out on behalf of police officers, seeing, like you said, you were living it. And I'm coming from the church side, watching these pastors that we say now, these pulpit pimps, throw you guys under the bus when you're taking the bullets every day. And so when I saw a cop with an attitude, and I'm like, okay, this is encouraging me to speak out more. And so I did that video for you, never knowing if you would see it or not. But I'm like, I just have to put something out and support a man that's laying it on the line. So we
thank you so much.
In honor of you.
Thank you.
Everything you've done in your career, but
thank
also
you.
Everything you've done in the public to stand up for this country and the Word of God has been a blessing to follow you. And you shared with your audience to follow me, and you contributed to half of the followers that I have. So I'm like, you've been a blessing even beyond what you could have known.
I got something for you too. I'm a big challenge coin guy.
Yes. This can't be your last TP USA event.
Absolutely not.
I'm
No.
glad that your mind has been blown because you've had so many people come up to you already. You only been here a couple of hours. But you see, I think, as I do, that it's breaking down so many barriers that we've been basically brainwashed into our whole life to believe, like you said, this oppressed and people are out to get you because they don't look like you. And what you've seen, and it's been what you've been preaching ever since you've started your on the platform, is that it's about the content of someone's character. And I think you've seen that today, that you're just around a lot of people that have less melanin than us, but they love this country and they love God, and we're down with it. We're down with it.
That's what it's all about. I mean, listen, I refuse to believe that people out there hate you. I mean, are there people out there who are racist and just will not like you because of color of your skin? Absolutely. Our message is not for them. Our message, we're not looking towards them. But look at the people that are here who just, they care about what's in your heart. They care about how you love this country. They care about your patriotism. They care about how you want this country to get better.
Yes.
They care about protecting our girls. They don't want men in their bathrooms, in their spaces, in their sports. They care about babies being born. They care about God, the Word of God, being a Christian. And I mean, you see all the people in here. This is just a small microcosm of what is in this country on a conservative, right-leaning, patriotic, MAGA side.
Absolutely.
So just thank you for this, man. I've never had anything like this, man. I truly appreciate this.
See, that's a first.
Thank you for just being patient with me because my schedule is crazy.
This has been 2 years.
This has been 2 years in the making. I saw your video. I look at it occasionally because you just say you support me and you support what I'm doing. You support our message.
Yes.
And just thank you, man. I truly do appreciate you and appreciate everything.
Love you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Zeke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on X, Zeek Arkham, ZeekArkham. Same handle for Instagram, ZeekArkham. And you can find me on TikTok. I just started blowing up TikTok. I said I got a whole group of people, a whole brand new group of people I gotta piss off. So you can find me on TikTok, real Zeke Arkham. Same thing.
Perfect. We're gonna try to get some shorts and some live reels with Zeke, probably pissing off whatever liberals decide to show up. Thank you, Zeke.